Let's talk about acute malocclusions in this video. Acute malocclusions can be reported as a sudden change in the occlusal pattern by the patient, which can be clinically evident, or it can be reported as a feeling of change in occlusal contact patterns by the patient, which you may not perceive clinically. There may be three causes of acute malocclusions. First is the most obvious and the most common cause, which is actually trauma. The second cause are muscle disorders, and the third cause are intracapsular temporomandibular joint disorders. Acute malocclusion secondary to trauma does not usually pose a diagnostic challenge. Let's discuss about the more challenging acute malocclusion causes, that is the muscle disorders and the intracapsular temporomandibular joint disorder. Myospasms involving the elevators of the jaw, when less dramatic, will be reported by the patient as a feeling of heavier posterior contacts or an anterior open bite. When more dramatic, it will be reported as an inability to open jaws completely by the patient. Myospasm involving the inferior lateral pterygoid muscle on one side leads to deflection of the mandible to the other side, leading to ipsilateral open bite and contralateral heavier bite on the anteriors. Spasm of inferior lateral pterygoid muscle bilaterally may lead to a heavier anterior bite and a feeling of open bite posteriorly bilaterally. Acute change in occlusion can also be reported by the patient if there is presence of some intracapsular disorders. If the patient has retrodiscitis or joint effusions in one joint, it will push the condyle anteriorly and inferiorly, and the patient will report an ipsilateral open bite and a contralateral heavier occlusion on the anteriors. If there is a partially displaced disc such that the posterior thick band of the disc is trapped between the articular fossa and the condylar head, then it will lead to an ipsilateral open bite and a contralateral heavier bite on the anteriors. And arthrocentesis in a temporomandibular joint will lead to increase in space due to deposition of some amount of fluid and will make the patient feel an open bite on the ipsilateral side. Likewise, injection of steroids or sodium hyaluronate in the temporomandibular joint will produce a transient open bite on the ipsilateral and side, a heavy bite on the contralateral side on anteriors. A completely dislocated disc or osteoarthritic changes in the temporomandibular joint reduces the space between the bony surfaces. That is, it reduces the space between the fossa and the condylar head. This results in a feeling of heavier bite posteriorly on the ipsilateral side. In a nutshell, if the patient reports a heavier posterior bite bilaterally, it can be due to an elevator muscle spasm bilaterally, or it can be due to osteoarthritic changes in the patient's temporomandibular joints bilaterally, or it can also be due to disc dislocation disorders bilaterally. If the patient reports a heavy posterior bite on one side, it can be due to osteoarthritic change on that side, disc dislocation disorder on that side, or it can be due to elevator muscle spasm on that side. If the patient reports ipsilateral open bite on one side, it can be due to entrapment of the posterior thick band of the disc in a partially displaced disc. It can be due to effusions in the temporomandibular joint. It can be due to acute retrodiscitis. It can also be due to inferior lateral pterygoid muscle spasm on the same side. If the patient reports bilateral open bite on the posteriors and heavier contact on the anteriors, it can be due to retrodiscitis involving both the joints, partial disc displacements in both the joints, which will be rare, inferior lateral pterygoid muscle spasm with both of the joints, or effusion in both the temporomandibular joints. I hope the video helps.